Welcome everyone to Dirt Road Cinderella. Today I am unveiling my BG appreciation build that is co-hosted by Jeff of Jeff's Model Garage and Craig of Mutt Modeler. I want to thank both Jeff and Craig for hosting this group build. When I learned that there was a BG appreciation build, I knew exactly what I was going to do. A year ago this week, BG actually sent me this Revell 1958 Corvette Roadster. It was directly after that Josh debuted the 409 Weekend Wrencher engine. BG and I were messaging each other, and we thought that the Vette would be a great home for that 409 engine. Over the next few weeks, I kept trying to buy it, but it was out of stock. So I wound up contacting Josh, and sure enough, he hooked me right up. So when the engine arrived, I put it in the box with the Vette, waiting for a time to build it. Then boom, there was a BG appreciation build. It was the perfect opportunity. Well, as you can see, I made the 409 fit inside the Vette. This kit went together very well. The only issue I had with the kit itself was that the frame showed from the side when the body was put on. A little filing here and there, and after a bit I got it to drop into place. It was the very first thing I addressed when I began. Next was to set the stance, so I dropped the front 3 scale inches and left the rest stock. I had the wheels and tires kicking around my parts stash for the last decade at least. I think they were a perfect fit for the Vette. They are not real wide, but wider than the stock tires. Once I had the suspension figured, I went to work fitting the 409 into the engine bay. It was certainly a tight fit, and I had to rebuild the rear transmission mount and add a brace. Somewhere along the way, I lost the kit radiator, but took one from my parts stash and added twin electric fans to help keep things cool. I also added vented disc brakes in the front and solid disc in the rear with a Wildwood master cylinder from VCG Resins. The paint is Scale Finishes 1958 Chevrolet Tropic Turquoise and Chevrolet Snowcrest White, also a 1958 factory color. The colors sprayed wonderfully both times I painted this car. The first time I had a clear coat reaction from the AK1K Real Colors Gloss Clear. The first 2 coats went on well, the third left orange peel. I thought, well, it looks like I'm learning to wet sand. After I wet sanded it, there were very tiny micro cracks in the clear. So into the stripper it went and I started again. I also asked my friend Dave from Woody's Scale Model Garage for some tips, and he was glad to help. As well as enlightening me to 2K clear his way, which worked like a charm when I did it the second time. As many of you saw in an update video, I painted the body colors with my Gallery Mobius TG, and the clear with the swallowtail with a fan cap. Primer was applied with the Gallery GHAC 98D. The chrome work was done with bare metal foil. The engine is detailed with oil dipstick, spark plug wires, fuel filter, heater hoses, and coolant hose. It was also painted with MCW Finishes Hemi Orange, because I didn't have any Chevy orange. On the interior, I tried to make a wood steering wheel using a technique I saw on another channel recently. I don't think it came out too bad. There are Model Car Garage photo-etched keys swinging from the ignition switch. I used the resin to make lenses over the gauges as well as mounting things like the mirrors and door handles, as well as windshield and wipers. I found it to be very handy for that. Also, the 1958 Corvette was the first year that seatbelts were standard, so I added a set from the parts box. There is a mason jar of thirst quencher tucked down between the driver's seat and door. The underside appears to be bone stock as I was able to use the kit exhaust to mate directly up to the 409. To top off the build, I had my editor make up some plates that say BG's 409 because this car has already been shipped to BG and he has seen it before I unveiled it here. Thanks again to Jeff and Craig for hosting this build. Also, a huge thank you to Mr. BG and all he is and does for our hobby and community. Don't look too close. You will find all the errors I drove myself nuts with on this build. Which brings me to a community question asked by Jason from the Blue Ox Model Shop. And as I understand, the question is it healthy to think whether or not something is good enough for a show? I want to say that I always push myself and have taken part in 4 smaller shows, so I always think about whether something is good enough. That was brought right to the front of my mind as I built this Corvette, knowing that the legendary BG was going to be putting his hands on it. In summation, it is good to think about whether it is good enough and to push yourself as long as it does not detract from your enjoyment of the build or hobby. With that, it feels like a great time for some housekeeping. Stick around, and afterward, I will include stills and build info. So until next time, later, y'all.
Sponsor Spotlight.
Check out VCG Resins by Reese. Parts that stand out, service that stands by you. The website is full of great info and is super easy to use. There are plenty of categories to choose from, such as VCG merch, kits, body parts, electrical, chassis and suspension, engine kits, underhood, transmissions, etc. Every item has multiple detailed photos. When cashing out, make sure to use our 10% off Dirt Road Cinderella discount code, DRC 1024.
Check out scalefinishes.com to find original equipment manufacturer correct plastic model paints that are mixed in-house and are 100% accurate for make, model, and year. They even hand mix paints in 2-ounce bottles to maintain color quality and accuracy. These premium pre-thinned airbrush paints are used from the bottle to the model. When cashing out, be sure to use our one-of-a-kind discount code for 10% off your next order.
Check out hobbylink.com for all your modeling supply needs.
Sponsor Spotlight.
Check out VCG Resins by Reese. Parts that stand out, service that stands by you. The website is full of great info and is super easy to use. There are plenty of categories to choose from, such as VCG merch, kits, body parts, electrical, chassis and suspension, engine kits, underhood, transmissions, etc. Every item has multiple detailed photos. When cashing out, make sure to use our 10% off Dirt Road Cinderella discount code, DRC 1024.
Check out scalefinishes.com to find original equipment manufacturer correct plastic model paints that are mixed in-house and are 100% accurate for make, model, and year. They even hand mix paints in 2-ounce bottles to maintain color quality and accuracy. These premium pre-thinned airbrush paints are used from the bottle to the model. When cashing out, be sure to use our one-of-a-kind discount code for 10% off your next order.
Check out hobbylink.com for all your modeling supply needs.